went through your mind when you first heard the news that Chael Sonnen and Johnny Bones Jones were named by the UFC as coaches for next season's Ultimate Fighter?
My immediate response to that was, wow, that'll be an entertaining season for the fans to watch, you know. You got the champ on one side, and I'm sure a lot of people are tuning in to see the champ. And then you have the guy who, claims he's the champ when he's clearly not the champ, Chael Sonnen. And he'll make any TV show not only funny, but definitely worth watching. So, I know I'm pumped up to watch it. And if I was a fan, I'd be thrilled.
Wait a second, now I'm confused here. You're telling me Chael Sonnen is not the champion? I'm lost here.
Well, don't be deceived by the belt. Don't be deceived by the belt. The belt doesn't mean you're champion these days.
Fair enough.
Actually, Don Jones is the champion.
The classic was during that press conference when Dana White didn't even notice that Chael brought the belt up to the stage, and he looked down. He's like, "What is this guy doing?" And he pulls the belt away from him. But that's Chael Sonnen. Now, Johnny obviously opened up as a heavy favorite versus Chael, who is moving up to the 205-pound weight class. How do you dissect that fight? Who emerges victorious?
I'm very interested. I'm very interested in that fight. Chael's a good size 205er. He can immediately jump right in and have good size and have good power. But he's up against a champion who he holds his own. He definitely holds his own, and he's been impressive. So I cheer for the champion in this situation.
Fair enough. You're listening to Phil, Mr. Wonderful Davis, right here on UFC Central Radio on the Sportsnet Fan Radio Network. Now, Phil, you're replacing Chael Sonnen, who was originally supposed to take on Forrest Griffin at UFC 155 on the organization's year-end show. Talk about what went into putting that fight together. Obviously, did you step up? Did you call the UFC? Did they call you? And talk about competing against a former light heavyweight champion like Forrest.
No, actually, they contacted me about fighting Forrest. As soon as I got off the plane from Brazil, I stayed in Brazil a couple extra days. As soon as I got off the plane from Brazil, turned on my phone for the first time in 2 weeks. I get a ton of text messages. I'm going through my text messages, and whenever you get like 60 whatever text messages at once, you just got to go to the important ones first. So I went to my family, checked all those, went up to my management. As soon as I started checking the text messages from my management, I'm like, oh crap, I have to fight in 2 months. I got to get back in shape. Not that I'm out of shape, but I got to stay in good shape. I can't get fat. I was looking forward to getting fat, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, in Brazil, you can get pretty fat quickly in Brazil, I'll tell you that.
I'll tell you what, those churrascarias they're no joke, man. They are no joke. It was amazing. I went there. Well, I can get on Brazil and the food another time, but yeah. So as soon as I got off the plane, I got the text message that the UFC wanted me to fight Forrest. Obviously, he's a former champion, well known inside the sport and out, and it's just an honor to fight him. So I said absolutely.
And he's a guy that brings the pace. He brings the pressure. He likes to stand and bang there. It's almost like he's, him and Stephan Bonner are mirror images. They don't like competing until they start sensing that they're bleeding. Is that ever a concern for you? Are you ready to go 3 rounds with this guy? Or is it just, let me get this guy down on the ground and sort of control him, even though he does have that jits behind him?
I'd rather not go 3 rounds with a guy like that. He's just, he just keeps going. He just keeps going, He's exactly. He's like Stephan Bonner. Those guys, they get bloodied up, and all right, now I'm ready to do this thing. I don't really get it, but that's how they roll. So you know what? That I like that. I like that, knowing that a guy's gonna not be scared of you, but he's gonna pressure you, and that to me, that brings out the best part of my game. That brings out the fight in my game, Like sometimes when you get against a guy who just wants to try to pick you apart with one strike here and there, slows down the pace a lot. I want a fast-paced fight. I want a fight of the night, So, I look forward to it. It should be awesome.
Hey, Phil, how do you feel about Rampage calling out Forrest when he's scheduled to fight you?
He didn't he just call out Glover?
He called out Glover. He says he'd fight Glover and Forrest on the same evening. Apparently, he turned down the Ultimate Fighter as well. Didn't want to do it against Chael Sonnen, but he wants to fight Glover, Forrest, and all these guys in one night for his final fight in the UFC.
Bless his heart. That's all I have to say about that.
No, that's Rampage for you. I mean, Rampage is, listen, I've been dealing with Rampage for a very long time, and you never know which Rampage shows up, but he always, no matter what, people need to read between the lines, he's always got good intentions. Sorry, Tyler, go ahead.
Well, before the Rashad fight, Phil, a lot of people are kind of touting you as the guy to take down John Jones because of your wrestling background. How far away from becoming that do you think you are?
The guy to take down John Jones or the guy to take down the champion?
Well, one or the other.
All the above.
Both. I'm improving all the time, and as you've seen in the light heavyweight division just recently, you're really only one performance away. It's all about selling the fight and giving the fans what they want. And then, if after this next fight the fans want to see me fight for the title, then that's what will happen. But if I need to string another 2 or 3 wins, then I'll do that, and I'll be content and happy either way. But the UFC is great because the fans win every time. A lot of people are upset because Chael Sonnen got a title shot right now. You know what? You know who's not upset? The fans. The fans aren't upset because the fans know they're going to get an awesome fight. Do I think the other people were in line to get that fight? Absolutely. It's not fair. If that's what you want me to say, it's not fair. It's not cool. But you know what? It's a fight game, and, at the end of the day, we're doing this for the fans.
Fair enough. Now, before we go to break, one quick question, because you mentioned one of the guys that could have been up there for that title shot would be one of your teammates, Alexander Gustafsson, if he gets past Shogun Rua. Is there ever a concern that one day the fact that, the UFC might try and pinpoint you against Alexander or a guy like Brandon Vera or one of your teammates?
If it comes down to a title shot, then we have no problem with fighting. We've already decided that we're in this to be the best in the world. And if one of us is the best in the world, and the others in line, then we'll decide, hey, who is actually the best in the world? But until then, there's no sense in losing a training partner over it. Right now, we're in a good spot, and we're helping each other and making each other better. And if there's ever a time when, again, like one of us is the champion, then we need to prove that. We need to prove, hey, who's actually the best in the world. But up until then, just to prove who's the best in the gym, not so important.
There you have it. Words of wisdom from Mr. Wonderful Phil Davis. Phil, if you're ever in the Toronto region and you're not setting up for a fight, I will take you to one of the chucherias out here and guarantee you'll be a heavyweight within about half an hour after we're done that place.
No, half an hour?
Can you last half an hour?
You think it would take me that long, man? Come on, man.
Thank you.
Don't disrespect me now. Come on, man. I do work in those places, man.
There you go. Thank you very much for your time.